When I ask a woman out on a date, I am much more likely to get a yes when I've known her for less than a month compared to when I've known her for more than a month. Why is this the case? Interesting question. To flip it around, why do you ask some women out earlier than a month and some later? It's possible you just have better chemistry with the ones you are asking out sooner. Or is it something else? Dating is about finding compatibility, right? If they've had more time as friends, then they would be more likely to know if you are compatible. I don't think this is inherently a bad thing, because you have had less chance to do something that gives them the ick. Pretend that a girl doesn't like apples. You don't know this and you love apples. Scene 1, you meet her and started chatting. A week later you ask her out. She still doesn't know about your sick love for apples. She says yes. A month down the road and you suggest apple picking as a mixed weekend date. She flips, but she is vested at this point, so the resulting breakup is still a few weeks out. Scene 2, meet that same apple-hating flight attendant. This time you hold off. A month down the road you tell her about the great time you had picking apples. She gets the ick. Few months later, you decide to ask her out, but she already decided that she isn't dating a friggin' apple lover. Honestly, I can't imagine asking someone out in under 5 months, so I don't have much advice to give you, man. However, if I were to make some guesses, it could be that they've had more time to think about how they feel about you and want you to stay a friend and don't want to risk ruining it. Or you've done something within that month that makes you incompatible. I couldn't say for certain though. At over a month, you've probably already said something stupid that disqualified you. A lady knows if she finds you attractive and will date you within the first 5 seconds of the interaction. Everything after that is just please God don't let him say something stupid. After a month of you not asking her out, she might have already plunked you as not interested in her. Well yeah, it's because they know you well enough to know that they aren't interested. Take a look at your personality. You could fall into the friend zone pretty quickly or perhaps be somewhat irritating to them. But I absolutely hate the feeling of lusting after a friend. I'd rather get the asking out of the way sooner than later. I made the mistake of not asking out a friend of mine within a couple months of knowing her. We've become pretty close friends, and now asking her out is a huge risk to our friendship. Assuming she were single, she did just start dating someone. The worst part is that she is so friggin' kind and caring and it eats away at me. She also has done a lot for her mental and physical health since I first met her, so she is looking more beautiful than ever. Moral of the story: ask them out as early as you reasonably can. For me, once I decide I'm going to ask a girl out, it might take a little while for me to find the right time to ask. It's hard if you can't get a moment in private with someone. For example, if you are always in a friend group and for whatever reason you can't just pull them aside for a moment, but try to do so as soon as you can. Usually once I've spent an hour or two around a girl, I know whether I would want to date her, and if I do, I make it a point to ask her out. The reasons I didn't do that with this girl are kind of complicated, but now I'm finding myself fantasizing about her and it's driving me insane. Eligible women are getting hit on all the time. If you don't make a move soon, someone else will. Don't be so aggressive weird about it that you can't be friends if she says no initially. Then be her friend and ask her out again from time to time and let her know you're interested. Some women want to be friends first for a while. Some women only look at you romantically in the very beginning. It can be difficult to know which kind of woman you are paying attention to in the beginning. It's actually pretty common. When you've just met someone, there's a lot of curiosity and excitement in the air. She's still getting to know you and might be more open to exploring where things could go. But after a month or more, you might start sliding into the friend zone, where she sees you as more of a buddy than a romantic option. Timing matters too. Asking sooner can make it seem like you're genuinely interested and confident. So if you feel a spark with someone new, it might be worth taking a chance early on, before things settle into a comfortable friendship. The new girl doesn't know she's interested. The girl you waited, she's seen and heard more about you and probably saw something that turned her off or made her less excited. You can still get her though, who cares? Because it feels more like TV or a movie. 2 weeks rule. You can only ask someone out within the first 2 weeks of meeting them. Otherwise you're a sicko per freak. Make a move before you're in the friend zone.